Hello Monster Hunters, RisingFunGaming here, how's it going? Today we're looking at a very solid build for bow that plays very much into the critical hit meta. With the addition of armor skills such as critical boost, chain crit, and the reworking of how weakness exploit works, going from 4G to cross, we have seen a noticeable trend in hunter builds that focus on attaining critical hits and boosting the critical damage multiplier. With this being the case, the Nerscylla bow has emerged as one of the strongest choices in the game of double cross. With that in mind, let's go through a good mixed armor set that will complement this bow exceptionally and require a talisman that is realistically attainable. First things first, let's have a look at this bow. This is the Rare 8 Hyper line of the Nerscylla bow. There is another version of a different rarity, and its stats and features are insanely good. It's got 320 attack power, 30% affinity, a single slot for gemming should you need it. For the shot types, we've got level 3 pierce on the first charge, level 5 normal, or rapid rather, on the second charge, and level 5 rapid on the third charge. As this is the case, we are not really requiring focus or load up. When you get load up, I think it's something like level 3 spread. And we're not really into that unless we're doing stat bowing, I guess. So leaving it like this, we've got very strong rapid 5 at our disposal at 2 and 3, which is great. It's going to, with the absence of focus and with the absence of the need of load up, we're going to be able to put in some other attack boosting and crit boosting skills, which we will see in just a moment once we're finished looking at this guy. As for the coatings, we've got level 2 power. It's going to be your bread and butter damage coating here. We've got paint coating, which we don't really care about, but as this is a Nerscylla bow, of course we're going to have poison and sleep on it. In fact, the sleep coating is boosted, which is very, very good for doing sleep bombing and stuff like that. And for poison, I guess you can get an early poison proc in at the start of battle, and maybe a second one if you would like. This is very good to have poison for your Kushalas, and of course for monsters that have high HP pools. Okay, so what is this set comprised of armor wise? We'll have a look here. We've got the S Sol Z cap, the S Sol Z resist. Both of these are made from silver Rathalos materials. I believe there are 2 different silver Rathalos sets, if not maybe 3 or 4. Pretty sure it's just 2 though, and you'll be able to tell which ones these are specifically by looking at the particular symbols here if you're playing along in Japanese. One note is that you could be able to get away with the Blade Master helm, but we've just got the Gunner helm here, depending on how good your talisman is. Okay, for the arm and waist, we're going with the Assyriant XR, and for the legs, we've got the Gormagala XR leggings. Now, the way that I've attained the skills in this set, we've gone ahead and used a weakness exploit, aka Tenderizer plus 5 triple slot. This skill comes with a maximum of 6 points to talismans, but it's not mandatory that this has a triple slot here. You could get away with less because you don't require a triple slot decoration to be in the talisman. We do have this single slot free if you don't quite have the talisman that I do. Alright, so just a note on the gemming strategy and the talisman strategy. For example, and this is not extensive, you could go with a weakness exploit 4 triple slot. You could go with a weakness exploit 5 double slot, for example. I think as we're using crit boost decorations here, you might be able to reverse engineer it a little bit and use a crit boost talisman, for example. But I trust if you've gotten this far in the Japanese game into G rank and stuff, I'm sure you've got enough brain to be able to do the math to go back and reverse engineer it for yourself. As for the specifics on the decorations that we've put in for this build here, we've got a double slot spirit talisman here, got a triple slot crit boosting talisman here, we've got a single slot haphazard, single slot tenderizer, single slot crit boost, and the remaining 4 single slotters are those haphazard ones. Okay, let's look at the statistics and skills. If you are at this stage of the game, you should have the Power Talon, Defense Talon, Power Talisman Charm, and the Defense Talisman Charm. and I use them all in my item pack, and with that I do have 335 attack power here and 528 defense. Elemental resistances, we've got -2 to fire, -11 to water, -17 to thunder, so be very careful, -2 to ice, and 2 to dragon. Now for the skills, we're finally getting there. We've got Challenger +2, Normal Rapid Up, we've got True Shot Up, Weakness Exploit, and Critical Boost. Alright, let's explain what these skills are. We've got 15 points to Spirit, activating into Challenger +2. This is a skill that will increase your attack power by 20, and additionally it'll increase your affinity, aka your critical hit chance, by 15%. This skill will proc 3 seconds after a monster in the same area as you becomes enraged. Effects from Peak Performance, Gloves Off +1 and Gloves Off +2 will be overridden by this. They will not stack with this skill. As an aside, just so that you know, it's not going to be a problem obviously because we don't have those skills on this set. Up next, 10 points to Normal Up, activating into Normal Rapid Up. This is a skill that will increase the attack power of Normal Shot or Rapid Arrows by 10%. Up next we've got True Shot Up, 10 points to it, from the tree skill name of Haphazard, that is, by the way. And this is going to, as it applies to bow, it's going to give an attack multiplier of 1.2 times to the bow's power shot. Additionally, it's going to apply a 1.4 times attack multiplier on the bow's arc shot. 10 points to Tenderizer, giving us Weakness Exploit. This is a skill that has been reworked from 4U, 4G, in Monster Hunter Cross and Double Cross, and indeed Gen of course. This is going to give you a boost of affinity by 50% when you proactively go out there and strike the monster's weak parts. The weak parts of monsters are those that are considered to have a 45 point weakness value or fleshiness value. So for example, a lot of monsters have 45 or higher to most or all hit types, being impact, cutting or bullet types, around about near the head area and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely try to seek those spots out when using this armor set and Weakness Exploit in general. And finally, we've got 10 points to Critical Up, giving us Critical Boost. This is an armor skill that is going to change your critical hit attack multiplier to 1.4 versus the default of 1.25. An exceptionally good skill introduced in Monster Hunter Cross. Very, very popular indeed. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a rewind and look at the bow. As we said, the bow has 30% base affinity here. When you think about it and look at the skills here, you're going to get 15% extra here when Challenger 2 is firing, so that's 45%. During that time, if you're using your Weakness Exploit properly, you're going to get an extra 50, so you're looking at 95% affinity. So a 95% chance to get critical hits, which are going to give you a 1.4 times attack multiplier with Critical Boost. And when you get that in consideration with the Normal Rapid Up, which is a 10% increase to attack, and you've also got the 1.2 multiplier to Power Shot, 1.4 multiplier to Arc Shot, you're really dealing with a very strong set. And it's for those reasons that I definitely suggest that you go to the effort to try to make it if you're playing Double Cross for yourself. Alright, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Hopefully you found it nice and helpful. I'd like to acknowledge the YouTuber Yoshinama. I believe his name is Yoshinama-san. I believe he is the first to come up with this armor set, and he is otherwise a really good channel to watch, so thank you very much. If he wasn't the first guy to come up with this, I'd just like to acknowledge whoever it was out there that did. You did a great job, and thank you very much for the inspiration. It's good to always share what the Japanese playing community come up with to the West. So that's going to do for now, guys. Thank you as always for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscription to the channel, and we're going to head out for now. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.